Exam Ignite Biology for Engineers module wise series. In this session, I will start with the module 4, Nature Bio-Inspired Materials and the Mechanism. So module 1, module 2 and module 3 are uploaded in the channel. You can refer the description for the link. In the module 4, now we are going to study about echolocation, in that ultrasonography and sonar system, photosynthesis with photovoltaic cells and a bionic leaf, then bird flying with the application of GPS and the aircraft, then Lotus leaf effect where it is super hydrophobic self-cleaning surfaces, plant burrs like Velcro, shark skin is used as it is friction reducing swimsuits, Kingfisher beak is used in the bullet train, human blood substrate, that is hemoglobin based oxygen carriers, that is HPOCs, and perfluorocarbons. Let me start with the first question. Explain the echolocation with the reference to the biological and the technological system. Compare the sound emission and the reception. So, introduction to echolocation is echolocation. It is a biological sonar system used by the animals and the humans to navigate and detect the objects in the environment. It involves emitting the sound waves that bounces off the object and echoes as written. The echo helps identify the object's location, distance, and size. So what is the principle is? It's based on the reflection of sound waves from the objects. The time delay and frequency change of returning echo give information about the object's location and nature. So it is similar to vision but works with the sound waves instead of light waves. Usually found in the bats and dolphins. What are the types of echolocation is? We are having 3 types: biological echolocation, human echolocation, and technical echolocation. Biological means it's found in the animals or mammals like bats, dolphins, whales. Then sound emission is bat uses larynx and mouth and nose structures. Dolphin or whale, they emit or clicks through the blowholes. Sound reception in bats, they have an ultrasonic sensitive ears. Dolphins, they have a lower jaw conducts the sound to middle ear. They help in prey detection and avoiding the obstacles. Human echolocation used by some blind individual, which involves mouth clicks and cane tapping and stopping like that. That also help to determine the size, distance, and shape. Technological echolocation, it is inspired by the biological echolocation. We use some devices like sonar, ultrasonic sensor, lidar. Then sound emission is done by the speakers and reception is done by the microphone or the sensors. This is used in the robotics and navigation aids, medical imaging and submarines, and self-driving cars. Mechanics of echolocation. Sound wave is emitted, hits the object, echo reflects back, it is processed by the ear or the sensor. Now brain, or you can say computer, it interprets the echo. If it comes fastly, that is a short delay, then the object is close. If there is a weaker echo, then we say smaller or there is a softer surface. Change the frequency, then we can say moving, there is a moving object, that is what a Doppler effect. Comparison, you can refer the table for comparing the biological and the technical system. Application is biological, it is used in bats catching the insects in that, dolphin for the murky water. Then in human, blind individuals can use. In technical, we use it in the sonar system and we use to avoid the obstacles in the robots, in the medical ultrasounding. So what are the next question is to explain the principle and working of the ultrasonography and mention its advantages. So ultrasonography, you can say it is a non-invasive diagnostic technique that uses a high frequency sound waves about 20 kilohertz to create a real-time image of the internal body structure. It is widely used in the medical diagnostic, especially for the soft tissues, organs, and the fetal development monitoring. So correct definition is ultrasonography is a medical imaging technique that utilizes high frequency sound waves to visual the internal body, organs, and tissues. It is also called as what? Diagnostic sonography or the ultrasound scanning. Well, how does this work? This works on echo principle. So their sound waves are emitted by a transducer. So then the waves stick a boundary between the tissue of different densities, echoes are reflected back. These echoes are received and they are processed into images. You can see a transducer placement. See, I have a figure. This is a transducer. It is placed on an object or the skin. We give a clock with a pulse generator. Then what we get time gain compensation, and that gets amplified. That is converted to the image or scan converter, and that is shown in the monitor. You have to write the diagram. Okay, transducer is placed on the skin with a gel to what? To eliminate the air gaps. This is what you have to remember. And that will be a high frequency sent to the body, and the reflection reflects at the tissue boundaries. Then echo intensity varies with the tissue density. Then echo reception, it is recepted returning echoes, and image is formed, which is 2D or 3D. Fine. Next is, what are the applications of this ultrasonography? One thing, monitoring of the fetal development. Main thing, we develop fetal development and growth is monitored. Then in abdomen, liver, gallbladder, kidney, pancreas analysis, cardiology, where echocardiography to view heart chambers and function. In the musculoskeletal, where viewing the muscle, joints, and soft tissues. In the urology, we use for bladder and the post-treat evolution. Emergency medicine, here quick diagnosis of the internal bleeding or the organ damage. You can observe that in each of the domains this is used. Advantages is mainly it is non-invasive, that is no cuts, no injuries. Radiant free, safe for the pregnant woman and child. Then real-time imaging, we get the real-time image of live evaluation. Portable, this is used in ambulances and clinics. It is a cost-effective, less expensive than CT and or MRI. Applicable for many organs and body parts. Limitation is it cannot penetrate the bone. This is the main thing. And if there are air-filled organs like lungs, intestine, that is not possible. Then operator dependent, that is image quality varies with the skill. Then less useful for protecting deep or very small structures compared to MRI, CT. Then explain the working of the sonar and mention its types and advantages. So introduction to sonar. Sonar is nothing but sound navigation and ranging. It is a technology that uses sound waves propagation underwater to detect the objects, measure the distance, map the ocean or riverbed. It is commonly used in submarine navigation, oceanography, fishing and defense. Then what are the types of sonar? We are having passive sonar and active sonar. Passive sonar means merely listens to the sound emitted by the underwater objects, that is submarine engine. Active means it emits the sound pulses and listens for their echo after reflecting off. Working principle, it works on the principle of echo, that is reflection of sound waves. It is similar to the biological echolocation, that is bats and dolphin. Step is transmission. A transmitter emits high frequency sound waves into the water. The sound waves travel to the water, hit the underwater object, and it reflects back. So based on the reflection, the distance is calculated. Our receiver captures the echo. So calculation is distance is equal to 1 by 2 into speed of the water into, there is a formula, go through that. Then the object detection, the size, shape and the materials of the object are inferred from the echo strength and the frequency pattern. Visualization, processed data is shown on the screen to view the underwater structure or object. Application is in marine navigation, ocean floor mapping, fish detection, naval military use, then researchers and in rescue mission. Advantages of sonar technology. Versatility, it is used in the oceanography, military navigation and fishing. Cost effective because it is cheaper and not deep diving is all risky. Then non-invasive, that is no physical contact. Real time result, we get a live feedback. High resolution because we use a modern sonars are very efficient. Limitation is the limited range is turbid or in the deep water, affected by underwater temperature or salinity. Many disturb the marine life also. Explain the process of photosynthesis, compare it with the photovoltaic cell and write the applications of photovoltaics. So light on the earth, it depends on the conversion of the sunlight into usable energy. So photosynthesis is a biological process where green plants or algae or some bacteria convert the light energy into chemical energy and store it in the form of glucose. This is the reaction 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus the light energy. In the presence of chlorophyll, it forms C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This occurs in the chloroplast of the plant leaf cells. So pigments involved is chlorophyll. It absorbs the blue and the red light and reflects the green. There are two stages. One is light dependent reaction and light independent reaction, which is also a Calvin cycle. Importance is this produces an oxygen which is essential. It's the base of a food chain for the producers and then stores the solar energy as a biomass. Coming to the photovoltaic cells, it's a semiconductor device that converts the sunlight directly into the electricity using the photovoltaic effect. It is based on sunlight strikes on the silicon based solar cell. Strikes on the silicon based solar cell and from which it is converted to other form of energy. Next, the movement of these electrons create the electric current. So this solar cell produces 0.5 to 0.6 volts. Many cells form the solar panels. Material used here is silicon, a semi and SPN junction, anti-reflective coating, and a glass cover. This is the equation: sunlight where photons get excited, so electron is excitation occurs and the electricity is generated. You can compare the photosynthesis and the photovoltaic cells. Application as it is remote locations, it is useful. Space application, standalone power system in the building rooftops you can place. Then in the military it is used for charging. In transportation we use for the cars, bus and drone. Explain the concept and working of the bionic leaf. What are its components and application? Bionic leaf, it is a biomimetic, that is what biomimics the system that replicates and improves upon the process of natural photosynthesis. It uses the solar energy captured through the photovoltaic cell and combines the artificial catalyst with the biological components like bacteria to convert CO2 and water into a useful fuels like isopropanol and hydrogen. Natural and bionic photosynthesis, you can compare those two and write with the equations and with some of the features. We use one bacteria. That bacteria is Ralstophina eutropha. This is a very important. You have to mention this. Working, as I said, bionic leaf captures using photovoltaic cell, a metal-based catalyst, cobalt phosphorus alloy, splits water into hydrogen and oxygen. Now the carbon dioxide from the air is introduced into the system. The bacterium Ralstonia eutropha, it consumes the hydrogen and carbon dioxide to produce a liquid fuels like isopropanol and isobutanol. The system achieves a high solar to fuel efficiency far exceeding natural photosynthesis. What are the components used in that? You can refer. Advantages is it is efficient, renewable, carbon capture, that is reduce the global warming, then clean biofuels, and it is scalable for industry applications. Applications, you can use it for renewable, used as a renewable energy production, agriculture and food production, environmental remediation, then scientific research and bioengineering. Next question, compare the bird flight with the aircraft flight. Explain how both use navigation systems like GPS and magnetic field. Describe the importance of GPS in activation. Okay, so here bird flight is nothing but it is entirely different mechanism and a navigation strategy. Birds involved biologically to adopt a flight to the flappy wings, hollow bones, and natural navigation using the magnetic fields and celestial clues. Aircraft, it depends on the engines, aerodynamics, and advanced technology like GPS to control the flight and navigation. So you can compare both of them, like what this is having and what it is replaced. Birds is it is a Earth's magnetic field, sun and star positions are sensed. So from that landmarks are identified. So they have a brain system and a specialized neurons. There was an experiment done on that. Next, we will move on to GPS. GPS is a global positioning system, real-time location tracking on the aircraft wherever on the earth. Flight planning, that is assist route planning in the weather, based on the weather, airspace, other waypoints. It helps in the safe landing in low visibility. Then air traffic management, that is it reduces the air congestion. Then it also avoids crashes of the plane. You can write this diagram. Now comparing the GPS with the birds, you can go with this. And applications are given here. Next, explain the principles of aircraft flight with a reference to lift, drag, and thrust. Describe how biomimicry from the birds has influenced the modern aircraft technology. So we have four fundamental forces of flight, that is lift, drag, thrust, and weight. Based on this, the bird fly. They lift upwards, they drag so that air resistant that slows the motion. Then forward motion is done. Then downward force due to gravity actually pulls them down. So mechanism of lift in wings. They have a shape. So air moves faster over the top. So lower pressure. Air moves slower underneath. So higher pressure. So result what? Wing is pushed upwards. Bernoulli's principle. Then aerodynamic drag, where energy is lost. There are two types of drag: lift induced drag and parasitic drag. Thrust is a mechanism. In the drones, we use this. So flappy wings are there in the birds, but in the drones, we have changed this and adopted to that. Biomimicry, how birds flight increases the aircraft technology. So wing shape is changed to winglets, then flappy motion is into flapping drones, then soaring ability, soaring algorithm is changed here. Then feet and legs, here a shock absorbing landing gear is designed. Next comes Lotus leaf effect and its application in the super hydrophobic and cleaning surfaces. So Lotus leaf effect, it is a natural phenomenon because it is observed in the lotus leaf, which exhibit a super hydrophobic and self-cleaning properties due to the micro and nano structured surface. This effect has inspired the development of artificial self-cleaning materials widely used across the industries. So what does the surface have? It has bumps, micro scale bumps and nano scale waxy hair. So this creates a dual scale roughness, very high water contact, means greater than 150 degree, and very low adhesion. See, this is what the leaf. Here we have epidermal cells, microstructure. This is a wax crystals. So what it makes? It makes the water to roll off. Okay. Working mechanism is when a water droplet lands, it does not spread, but it forms a spherical bead due to high contact angle. This rolls off easily. While rolling off, it will take the dust. So that is what a self-cleaning mechanism. Next comes the how does this useful? How is this self-cleaning mechanism useful in day-to-day life? Just a minute. Yeah. In the constructions, we use self-cleaning building fairs that on the construction sites we can use. In the medical, bacterial resistant surfaces or the surgical tools, we can coat them with this lotus leaf effect principle. Then aerospace, in anti-icing coating on the wings. Then automotive, where rain repelling windshields. Then for waterproofing the gadgets and sensors, we use this. It is just an example of a biomimicry. That was all about this. Next question is explain the biological principle behind the invention of Velcro from the plant burst and development of drag reducing swimwear inspired by the shark skin. Actually, Velcro, it is a plant. Okay, it's a plant like burdocks that have a seed-like structure called burrs. Okay, these burrs have tiny hook-like projections, so they easily attach to the fur, feathers, or fabric, helping in seed dispersion. That technology is taken. Engineers invented that into converting it to a fabric-like material. This is how Velcro looks under the microscope. So we have two strips, one is tiny hook and another is tiny loop. Both get stick. Okay, that is what when they press together, they form a strong bond. Applications is we use in the clothing and shoes, in the jackets and all, use in the medical for the adjusting the braces, aerospace for fastening the tools in the zero gravity. Then in packaging, in sports, we use Then drawbacks is it causes irritation to some skin. Then it controlled by herbicides and cultivation while doing. Shark skin for the swimwears, frictionless, which is so this is a tiny rigid structures called denticles. So these denticles disrupt the water flow and reduce the turbulence, improving the swimming efficiency. So this technology is taken to the swimwears, where professional is used in the professional swimming to improve the performance. They mimic the microstructure of the denticles to streamline the water flow. Materials that can be used um, in doing that. Then benefits of in the engineering and sports. How is it useful? It makes the faster and less efficient. Then comes the next question. Explain how the structure of the kingfisher's beak inspired the aerodynamic design of a bullet train. Here, mimicry is a process of learning from the nature or applying the biological design, right? So here we are taking the kingfisher's beak, which dives from the air to catch the fish, requiring it as a transition between the two different mediums. One is minimal resistance and the splash. So same thing that was used in the bullet trains. This beak is long, slender, and pointed, so which allows a smooth entry in both air and water. That is why submarines are also almost in this shape. Streamlined shape reduce drag or resistance, helping the bird save energy and during the high speed dives. Then comes how we have used in the bullet trains. Actually, Japan bullet train originally caused a loud booming sound when entering a tunnel due to the pressure waves. So we as engineers noticed the similarity in the pressure transition problems faced by both train and the diving bird. So we mimic the kingfisher beak as sharp, tapered, and smooth. Next comes benefits of this. How did it help the bullet trains? It reduced the air resistance, lower noise pollution, improved passenger comfort, and energy efficient, enhanced the speed and the stability. Next question, what are human blood substitutes? Very important question. Explain the types, uses, and challenges and the recent developments. So blood substitutes are the artificial products developed to perform one or more functions of the biological blood, primarily carrying the oxygen and restoring the blood volume. These are especially important in the surgery or trauma cases in the military locations or in the situation where limited blood donors are available. Blood substitutes, volume expanders, and the therapies, where HBOCs are hemoglobin based oxygen carriers and PFCs are perfluorocarbons. Firstly, hemoglobin-based oxygen carriers. It is made from the purified natural hemoglobin, often modified for stability. Appear red like real blood, capable of oxygen transport and release in the hypoxic tissues. Application is organ preservation can be done, emergency transfusion, transplanting surgeries. Some of the challenges are there for that also. Perfluorocarbons, it is a synthetic fluorine containing compounds that dissolve large amount of oxygen, appear white but need emulsification before use. They stay in the bloodstream for approximately 48 hours. Used in the blood trauma and can be the first generation blood substitute. Advantages: an excellent oxygen solubility, no immune reaction can take place. It's stable at room temperature. Disadvantage: it can cause flu-like symptoms. So not metabolized, require emulsifiers to mix with blood. You can compare both of them and learn easily. Next comes cord blood has a substrate source where umbilical cord blood contains immature RBCs that can be used for transfusion. Benefits are they are rich in stem cells and they can be ethical or safe for future use. Challenges is the collection and storage protocols are standardized. Must ensure quality and safety. Ongoing research is going on and ethical concerns. Finally, research and clinical trait insights, where three times higher risk of heart attacks in some HPOCs trials. Then PFCs have some side effects, but some substitutes show minimal risk, offer potential for the safe usage. So this is what about the fourth module. Stay subscribed and do share with your friends. Stay updated for the next module. Thank you.